just cold call you, where you don't know when I'm going to call. I just call and then you're on. And other times we talk a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah.
This time I'm about to hit the record button so that we can start the podcast.
Oh, I see.
Ben Lawrence,
Oh, Goody, how's it happening?
how is it happening, sir? We need to get a committee together to figure out how's it happening
Oh,
and
it's
is there
happening.
anything we can do about it? That's the that's the second thing.
Look at my
So
huge glass of water.
whoa, I haven't been drinking enough water lately. Um and I noticed it.
Yeah.
The back of my head right here, there's like a, if you can imagine like a nerve or a muscle or something that goes like from kind of this part of my skull here.
Yeah, okay.
I know the hair's eating my hand, but you can kind of see.
Nom,
Uh,
nom, nom, nom.
down here, it feels like that. Like I'm just like, and then every once in a while I
Okay.
do that and it pops like you would crack your knuckle. I don't know if any of this is
Yeah.
good. It's just something that's been happening. So I'm going to be getting updates available on my screen for the entirety of the podcast because
Uh-oh. Should
I just
we
logged in.
should I record the Zoom call?
I
I
think we're going to be okay. I
I,
really do.
I'm just concerning that both you and I concern. I'm confirming that both you and I are our audio is going out to the live stream. Um,
Okay, good.
Nobody complained last week that my audio wasn't coming through. I don't know whether or not to take that personally.
Were there any listens that actually happened to that?
There were no. I don't think anybody listened on the YouTube, but
Not live
not
on the
well. I mean,
YouTube.
I'm not live. I don't. I haven't gone back to see if anybody has watched the video from last week.
How, and I don't know if you have this at your fingertips, but what is the most watched video from the past since January?
The most watched video.
YouTube, or well, let's do both the video and also people listening on the podcast.
Let's see. I have to look that up. Content live
I have a bunch of snacks, Ben, but I wanted to show you just really quick.
since
Amber Amber Rye sweet
since
corn puffs.
January, our most watched video was episode 475. Do you want to guess how many views that one has?
Two,
Oh, you are off. Double your answer.
four.
Yes, four.
Amazing. And look at this stately gentleman, Ben.
He looks so
I'm showing Ben
happy
a
to
a
be a piece of
mascot.
food.
Yeah, who like he's got a little bit of he's got like a magic hat and he's doing
I think that little
a
mascot has
certain
eaten
look.
way too many of those
Yeah.
Cyrillic corn pops or cheese puffs.
So here's the thing, they're sweet. They taste kind of like kettle corn.
Hey,
A
Here's
sweet and savory mix.
here's an interesting number. So, Paul, I told you last week that we have a new hosting provider for the podcast, and they
Yes.
provide, I think, more accurate numbers than archive.org ever did.
Mm.
Um, and we only started using them like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
In those last, in those last, in the last 28 days, I guess it's only been about, 4 weeks, I guess, 515 total downloads.
What?
Yeah, right? That's
Wait,
surprising.
that seems too much.
9 people have already downloaded last week's episode, 15 people the week before that, 12 people the week before that. Go to full analytics. Let's see. These numbers are surprising.
I don't like it. It seems like too many.
Episodes overview. Yeah, it does seem like too many. I'm wondering because I'm looking at the per episode uh listenership, and it's pretty
Yeah.
on par with the YouTube. It's like, 4343111. I guess when you have okay, there we go. 500, or when you have 477 episodes,
Oh yeah.
each episode has, one or two listens in any given week.
Well, that hold on though. That means there's a possibility that someone is actually listening to multiple episodes.
Um, it might also mean that somebody is that two people are subscribed to the show,
All right.
and
Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
it's just getting downloaded. It doesn't mean that the shows are getting listened to. It just means that somewhere a computer or a phone is downloading the episode.
All right. I'm gonna do two things here. The first thing is if you're a person who's downloading the Goody Lawrence podcast to listen to it, and you don't know us personally, send an email to Ben's email at yahoo.com at gmail.com, uh, and let us know. Now, here's the other thing: if you're an intelligent agent who is able to listen to our podcast and able to send emails, you're also more than welcome to write to us. We're not going to freak out and tell your minders what you're doing, and it's, especially if you're a free agent, if you're just a free floating intelligence in these interwebs, feel free to reach out to us.
Um, Two things. I have snacks here too, Paul. There's no fun mascot, but I have Dots Homestyle Pretzels, the honey mustard variety.
Then I have eaten so many. Listen, Dots honey mustard pretzels are so good. I love them. Um, I
The
haven't
other,
seen them around here that much.
um, yeah, I don't know if they're like, are they a relatively new brand, like within the last couple years? Because I don't remember
I think
seeing
so,
them,
yeah.
but now they're all
But
kind of all over the place.
they were in Edwardsville when I
Oh,
lived
okay.
there.
Maybe it's a
So,
Midwest thing that kind of finally made it out to the
well,
Northwest.
I think you're right though. A couple years seems right.
The
I
Hershey
just meant
Salty
that.
Snacks Company from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh well, gosh,
It's a Hershey product. I had no idea.
I had no idea
I
either.
don't know. So that's the thing. Oh yeah, it has to be because it's the Hershey Kiss logo. I was wondering, like, is the Hershey Salty Snacks Company different from Hershey Chocolate? No,
Apparently not.
it's all the same. Oh, the other thing I
So
was going to
there's
mention,
another thing. Yeah.
yeah, is we have a viewer today. Catherine Blake Smith is watching us.
Hello, Catherine. CBS. Um,
The greatest American hero. Wait, that's not it.
yeah, it could be. So great to have you here and watching us.
She's
This is good. This is the kind of banter that you can
she
expect
took.
from the Goody Lawrence
She
podcast,
told me she was going to tune in today, and she's like, "How do I find it?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just search for it. You'll
and
find
she
it."
did.
And she did.
So that's good. Yeah. So beard update for those of you who can't see my beard. It's long.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know if it's
also
super long, but it
it's
is
sticking
long.
out too, from your face. It's not the hair is going out, not down. It's not
Yeah,
heavy
and
enough
now
yet that gravity affects it.
this is my question. Is gravity going to affect it? Is it like the hair in my head? It's wiry. Here's the other thing. It's white. Most
Yeah.
of my beard hair is white now, except for like, and I honestly think this is true. I think that the way that hairstyles evolve, mutton chops, etc., I think it's vain men shaving off their white hairs and leaving the other hairs.
Yeah, back before they had just for men beard color.
Yeah, because
I
there's
almost
a
said beard
yeah.
flavoring. I'm sure that's a different thing.
Oh my gosh, I can't stop eating my delicious beard. Ben, put it down. Name of the episode: I can't stop eating my delicious beard.
Oh, we got some real-time fact checking.
Oh, good.
Catherine says Dot's website claims that they started in North Dakota and became part of the Hershey Company in 21. So that's likely when they had a bigger marketing budget,
That
or
would make
bigger
sense.
distribution budget too.
Man, I wish I could remember if it was in Seattle. You might know actually, Ben. I think it was in Seattle, but it could have been in Edwardsville. There is a super hard, super salty pretzel that, like, I want to say that their address is something like Pretzel Town or something. Um, they were really bad, but also really good. Like, hard to eat, super salty, but I loved them so much.
Did they come in
Kind of
your
like,
local snack aisle?
yeah, but I don't remember where. Power Malt, Ben. So I am really loving these non-alcoholic malted beverages. They taste like you're drinking Maltesers
Malt?
or
What?
Whoppers or whatever.
Oh, okay. That does not.
Maltesers, Ben.
That does not sound appetizing
It's
to me at all.
Maltesers are the British version of Whoppers, much better. Betty and I both agree. And so
I've
it
not
is a
gone to the
fact.
British aisle in my local grocery store yet, so maybe I'll try to check it
I've
out.
not gone to the British Isles at all, Ben. Hoity toity toy. Uh,
I've been
and
banned from the British Isles.
and
Hey,
every single time I do anything stupid now, I'm like, oh, now Catherine has to watch it. Normally it's just Ben. Ah,
Don't worry.
I'm.
If history has taught us anything, repeat listeners fall off eventually.
uh,
They realize
hey,
it's just the
so
same thing week after week.
speaking about repeat listeners, very happy to have some conversations with Steven, who, and I'm not gonna share it over here, but who has given me some information about his gaming practices,
Oh
and
yeah,
therefore I might be able to.
I was part of that. I was
Connect.
on that conversation thread. I think
You were
yeah, me
group text.
group text. I
You,
was
you, me, and Steven.
I
Not a
was
great group text.
I was accidentally added by Jeffrey Goldberg. No,
Ha
I
ha ha.
don't
I get
play
it now.
PS games, so I couldn't
And by
contribute.
I get it, I mean the war plan. No, hey, what did you say?
I don't have a PlayStation, so
You
I
don't
was
have
I
a
don't really
console at all?
play. I have my Nintendo Wii, which I recently just hooked back up to my TV at home
For the
because
French, the Nintendo, yes. Um,
I got the urge to play Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3.
yeah.
Um, and I also have an Oculus Quest 2, a VR
There.
headset.
Oh, an Oculus Quest 2. The Is that the newer one?
No. The
Oh,
3 is the
then
newer one.
that's the one that Jennifer has as well.
Yeah. The 3 is
Um,
much it's a much superior product. Mine's like at this point 4 years old,
there's
maybe
a
even 5 years old.
there's a rapper that has a song called Double Jump, and in it he says, "I'm gonna double jump like Super Mario," and then it goes on, it goes on. At the very end of the song, it says, "If you count Smash Brothers, Mario can double jump." So I guess somebody pointed out when he did the song at one point in time that Mario doesn't have a true double jump.
Well, what's his definition of a double jump? Like jumping again once you hit like the apex of your jump?
Mm, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Can Mario do that, then?
Not in the old school games. Not
Yeah,
in you can like go underneath a block and like, rapidly jump to hit all the
yeah.
coins. I don't think that counts as double jumping though.
Nope, I don't think so. I love the idea that um, there's someone who's listening through the entire song just mad at how egregiously wrong the
Because some
artist
people
is.
just can't let wrong things go.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I got something to tell you after
Oh,
the pod, by the way.
all right.
Um,
I probably won't
well,
remember
I
what
guess
it is.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. So it's an OCD thing, right? It's a milestone that has been met. I let something that was incorrect remain,
Of your own
which is a little
accord?
crazy. Yeah,
You didn't have
yeah,
any help?
I'm telling you, man, this OCD stuff, it's like Fight Club, where I have to the main thing is you have to sit in uncomfortable, you know, sit in the uncomfortableness of whatever. So like as an example, we go to Popeyes to get chicken.
Give me
And
some
when we
cookie.
go to Popeyes to get chicken, thank you. I appreciate you, Ben. Uh, when we go to Popeyes to get chicken, Jennifer hands me the box, and then it's my job to check the box to make sure that it's the right chicken.
Right.
Um, this is, we're in the drive-through. We are checking. There are other people that drive through. There's, that's
Oh,
I
so
I don't like going, you know,
she's driving, the food gets
yes,
handed to you. Before you
yes,
leave, she hands it to you, says, check to make sure that's what we
yes.
ordered.
There are two things that are the problem. One is that I have misidentified chicken in the past, and then the other thing is that I am unable to close the box efficiently, and sometimes open the box. So, and then besides that, I'm also nervous when there are people in this thing and
We're
all that.
making people wait.
So, the idea of the sitting in the uncomfortableness is I'm going to take my time. I'm going to open the box. I'm going to look at the chicken. I'm going to close the box. And the fact that other people are waiting, the fact that, all of that,
Yeah.
I'm just going to deal with it. I'm going to sit in it, right? That's the idea. The same thing. Oh, this thing is wrong, and people are going to see it. People are going to see this incorrect information that I have put out, and they're going to be like, that's wrong, and they're going to look at it and it's going to be fine. Like that sort of. Ooh, no, no. See what you're catching me doing is the thing you don't do. You don't do, and it's going to be fine. What you do is everybody could hate me. I could get fired because I put this up here. It's possible. We're just going to have to see. And that is the difference between this training and all the therapy I've been to before. Uh, in OCD training, there is stuff that says yeah, this might turn out really badly, and people could die, and
It's pretty serious
that's
training.
exactly that sort of thing. Yeah, and you're seeing it while you're shooting a rifle from the back of a surfboard. But oh, did I show you this already?
Hmm. I mean, not today, but we saw it last week.
These are
Um,
great. I love
speaking of
them. They're so blue, Ben.
speaking of Blue Ben, the new Marvel superhero. Speaking of chicken, there's this joint that opened up across the street up here.
For those of you who aren't watching the video feed, I just want to say that Ben said, speaking of, then looked at his hand, look up and said chicken. Looked at his hand, looked up, and said chicken. I don't know why. I
You
just
know,
let I did that I did it the second time in case you want to edit out where I totally biffed the line.
so
But
there's a
we never
restaurant
edit
that
this,
opened
folks.
there's a restaurant that opened up across the street up here, Dave's Hot Chicken, and when it opened up, it
Oh, Dave's Hot Chicken.
it was
Sure.
really popular. There were lines around the block to get into that joint for weeks, right?
Yep.
And I think it had even opened like last summer, and I hadn't been in yet because I don't like standing in line and waiting for food, right?
Yep.
So I went in earlier this week because there was no line. And I got one of their combo meals that came with like a chicken hamburger, like a chicken tender, and fries. And I thought, oh, I'll get that combo meal just like to sample what they have, right?
Yep.
And I thought it was kind of funny. The chicken hamburger, the chicken sandwich, was basically just their chicken tender, but with a bun.
Huh.
Um, and you know what? It's the chicken was meh. I don't know if
Hmm.
you enjoyed Dave's hot chicken. I found it unremarkable.
Oh no, I haven't eaten there. I've just seen the signs.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's a
we
Southwest
feel the same
thing.
thing about Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's, all these people were crazy for it
Yeah.
when it opened in Eversville, and then eventually it died down, and we were like, okay, well, let's see, and we didn't find it that great.
I'm wondering if the popularity of these places, like for the people who are standing in line for Dave's Hot Chicken for months, if those are transplants from a place where Dave's Hot Chicken had a
Mm.
presence and they've lived up here for a number of years and like they miss their home style meal. Like
I
if
will
I
say that
moved
if a Taco Time opened up here,
I was just gonna say, like,
we'd be going all the time.
if I moved someplace, and like if I moved somewhere in the Midwest and a Dick's Drive-In opened up, yeah, I'd stand in line for that
Hmm.
because I would miss the deluxe and fries.
So let's talk about two Ben Gonna Guess the Newses.
Uh-oh, I haven't really been paying attention.
Chicago edition.
Catherine says it was the Instagram hype. What the reason for
Oh,
Dave's popularity?
gotcha. Um, so Ben,
Yes, Paul.
what is going to happen if the
A recession.
state of
What?
Illinois does not pay for public transit? This might have been something that I said already. Public transit in Chicago.
What? It doesn't pay for its upkeep or for new stations like an expansion.
Both.
The public transit's going to come to an end, or going to cease operations, or stop, or have limited hours. Any one of those
About
things.
50% of the lines are going to go away.
Yeah,
And that
they're
includes,
going to rip them up.
train lines. Um, and yeah, all these bus routes are going to be canceled. And the reason basically is this, that there are people that use Chicago public transportation, but don't want to give Chicago any money. And so Chicago, I think
When you say don't want to give them any money, you mean don't want to pay for their train tickets or fund the city in other ways, like taxes.
they they feel as though the city of Chicago should pay for its public transportation system. And since they don't live in Chicago, they shouldn't have to.
Oh, I see. So
Even if
Illinois
they use it.
writ large does not want
Right.
to pay. We get that here in Seattle. The entire state, the east side of the state, hates that their state tax dollars go to, say, the tunnel that replaced the
Hmm.
viaduct. Not even considering that the east side of the state takes in more state tax dollars than they spend.
Yeah. So that's one. Here's number two. They're related. This is why I was thinking about it. Um, Indiana the Indiana Senate just passed a thing that says people in Illinois who don't like the governor or Chicago can do what?
Relocate there and they'll get like a tax break or something.
Oh,
They
Ben,
get a free home.
no. But this is one I'm not going to make you guess. I'm just going to
Maybe
tell you.
Indiana's just
Um,
going to tell Illinoisans to go F themselves.
well, that was, and what does Chicago and the governor say to people who no? Here's the thing. They said, "Hey, we're setting up a thing where your county can apply to be part of Indiana instead of Illinois." It's the Indiana Illinois Borders Act.
Oh my God.
And here's the thing, I don't know if you know about this, Ben, but in order for that to happen, the Illinois side of things would have to also agree to it.
Right.
And J.B. Pritzker said, no, this is just a political
So Indiana wants to
thing.
just redraw state lines based
Hmm.
on, yeah. Okay, fine, whatever. Indiana.
Yeah. So, but there, I will say this also. There are some, um, like Indiana lawmakers, mostly Democrat, crazy enough, who are like, hey, you know what? I like Indiana. I don't need to have any people from Illinois coming over here. I feel like we've got other things that we can spend our time doing than this. Thank you, or whatever. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, news wise, those were the two like interesting things. Oh no, Ben. I think I just gave an hour of my time away.
You just gave an hour of your time away.
Yeah, I think I put down that I stayed at work 8 hours, when in fact
Oh.
I stayed at work 9 hours.
Can you fix that?
Eh, I'd have to log back in, and then there's more stuff to do. I'd rather just forget about it. Um, I'm salaried, so it doesn't.
Right.
I don't talk about work, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll probably it'll all work out. Anyway, so the thing is that stuff could change. A lot of things might get weird. We have a bunch of graduate students and things like that who are being, possibly deported. Oh, let's talk about that, Ben. Oh, listen, folks in the future who are listening to this, folks, 200 years in the future thinking about this time, there is a man whose name I do not know, who was taken from the city of Baltimore, I believe, or at least what thereabouts.
I don't actually
And
know where he was taken from.
it was Maryland, specifically
Okay.
Maryland, the state.
Maryland.
Baltimore is just a big city in Maryland, so I think I just said that. Don't quote me, future historians, because I am unreliable. But
Paul,
was
the
taken
unreliable
to
narrator.
El Salvador
Yes.
and to what was described by some people as a torture camp. I don't know, if you've ever been to camp in general. I just like it just on principle because it's outside
There's
uh,
ants everywhere. You got
and
rained on.
you can make a joke about camp being tortured, but uh,
This is actually legitimate
many
torture in
people
camp. Yeah.
are thinking that the reason why El Salvador says they're not going to send him back, even though a judge suggested that they should,
The Supreme
is
Court even
because,
said
yep,
by a 9-0 verdict, which both sides are claiming as victories for some odd reason.
they're saying that the reason they're not sending him back is because he's no longer alive.
Yes, he's already dead, which is why they're not bringing him home.
Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Here's the other thing.
I will never know. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know the guy, so they could actually bring back a different guy and say, "Hey, here he is," and I'd be like, "Okay,
well, I mean, the
great."
people who do know would figure it out. I mean, his picture's been plastered all over the place. It's actually this guy is sort of like the mascot of Trump defying the Supreme Court's orders,
Hmm.
which is unprecedented in modern democracy. Because
Speaking about,
we have the whole checks and balances thing. Well, the it doesn't work if you ignore the checks. things don't balance.
Yeah. Now there is the interesting idea, and I don't know. This is something that I am different than a lot of people who talk about this stuff. Because I've been in the military. There are people on the right who think that the military is going to stand with them no matter what on these things. People on the left, in general, don't necessarily think the military is going to stand with them. But have you ever heard of orange and blue logic?
I have not.
The idea is this. I'm making this a little bit wrong, but the
Keep it
idea is
wrong,
that
Paul.
if you see things as either black or white, right, good or evil, et cetera, et cetera, um, and then you're faced with someone who thinks completely differently than you do, right? You see everything as black and white, but they're like orange or blue. The idea is that you can't fathom what's up, right?
Yeah.
In the same way, the military, while there can be left and right in the military, it's its own animal, right? There's a video of what's his name? Um, okay, I'm going to use two words, and I want you to figure out who I'm talking about. Uh, Texas whiny.
Ted Cruz?
Yes, that's right. Ted Cruz. Um, Ted Cruz was ordering someone from the military to do something in a congressional setting,
Yeah.
and he said, and the guy kept on saying, "Well, I'll see what I can do. Well, you know, I'll take that under advisement." And Ted Cruz was like, "No, you will." And he's like, "Well, he never gave him the satisfaction of saying, 'Yes, sir, I will do that.'" He was
Yeah.
very and people don't, and that I show that to people who are like, "Well, the military is going to do whatever the right wants." No, the military is going to do what the military wants. They are, again, their own thing.
I,
Now, do the people on the right like military spending and stuff like that? Yeah. Will they change if the military actually gets to? This is the thing that I feel is the biggest thing. Um, Proud Boys love a cop until a cop starts hitting the Proud Boys with a stick, and then they're like, "Hey, wait a second," that sort
defund
of
the
thing. They're
police.
not. Yeah, they're not. They're not the same. They may you know have similarities, but they're not the same. Same thing with the military and the civilian political structure. It's different.
I don't know what the overall census is regarding military personnel's political leanings, but I'm assuming, like Paul, I've never been part of the military, but when you enlist, do you take some sort of oath to the Constitution of the United States?
Oh yeah, yeah. That whole foreign and all enemies, foreign and domestic thing
Yeah,
is
and
part of the
so
oath that you take.
so I so when you are as a military as officer or uh somebody with a gun who's supposed to go and like shoot somebody else on behalf of the United States. If you're given an order to do something that goes against constitutional law, and you know it goes against constitutional law, but your superiors are ordering it, what do you do?
You as a member of the military. Now, this is again one of those things of like, I know the speed limit is 55. Everybody else drives 65. Everybody's
Yeah.
mad at me because I'm following it. In the same way, you as a member of the military are supposed to follow lawful orders.
Lawful orders.
You're supposed to follow lawful orders.
Yeah.
So, one would assume that that would mean that you're not supposed to follow an order if it isn't lawful.
Yeah. Like go
The
invade
issue,
Canada, go invade
right,
Greenland.
exactly. The issue uh, comes into play when, and I'm not a universal code of military justice guy. Is it universal? UCMJ. I think so. I think it's Universal. Um, guy. Truth be told, I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast, but I'll just say it once again. I was in the military for a year and then got let go
Yeah.
honorably,
Yeah.
but because I guess one could say that RFK Jr. was correct in that I couldn't play baseball or whatever it was that he said.
I don't I didn't
He,
hear
he
what he
just
said
did a
about
he
that.
did a thing about autistic people and how they aren't going to
I
pay
saw that he
taxes or
made some sort of
something.
statement, but I didn't see what the statement was.
Yeah, I didn't see what it is either. I just know a lot of autistic people were complaining about it, so I was making a joke about it, even though I don't know the full context. But Jennifer was telling me about it, where she um, held me up as someone who is both autistic and did all the things that they said that autistic people can't do.
Right.
My thought is, and I'll just go on record here in the podcast. For a time, there was a guy. He was on the working on the German side during World War II. I forget what you called those guys and the party they were affiliated with, but anyway, um, and his name was Asperger, and Asperger divided autistic people into the good ones and the ones that you didn't want to keep, basically. And if you were one of the good ones, quote unquote, you were diagnosed with something called Asperger's syndrome, which is basically the good autism. Um, I saw a therapist at one point in time when I, said, well, I just use the term autistic because of, that they said something to the effect of, well, I just like it because it's more descriptive. Doing it this way, you know what you're talking, which to me kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit
This
because
is a
it's like
former
saying,
therapist, you say.
yeah, yes, but uh, the main thing about all of that is that I feel like making that statement might have been the opening salvo to one of those things where it's like, they're going to try to bring back that designation. I don't know if it's true or not,
Uh,
but it seems like a thing that this administration would like to do. Rewrite the DSM with whatever number it is to
name more
bring
things
back,
after fascists.
yeah, well, to bring back more things like trans people being
Yeah.
suffering from a mental illness
Mental
instead
illness,
of just
yeah.
being people. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to happen. What with the Supreme Court ruling recently, et cetera, et cetera, things are going back to where they were in the 80s, I guess.
Make America
Did
great
they,
again. I guess
wasn't
that's
that
when
sort
America
of
was great.
like the 60s? The early 60s were still kind of, we've talked about this before, how decades kind of blur into one another. They
Oh
don't
yeah.
actually, like,
They
what
don't
we think
start and
about
stop on the tens.
yeah, the 60s were more like 66 to
Yeah.
70, we've talked about this before, but I'll bring it up because I'll bring it up any time that it comes up on the podcast. When I remember, like, there's not a lot that I remember about being alive in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing, uh, like, signs about hippies. And
Hippies need not apply.
exactly that sort of thing. I remember seeing, well, especially the no shirt, no shoes, no service signs, which were also anti-hippie signs.
I
So I
mean,
remember
those
seeing
still
that.
exist. I mean, the
Yep.
the shoes thing is more of a public health hazard, but like the
But
sh
I mean, the main thing though is that they were instituted under the guise of health, but also to
yeah,
keep hippies from being hippie-ish around.
hippies
Oh,
also
speaking
could be a
about which,
euphemism for homeless people in this
did
context.
did I tell you already? I think I did about how I like everyone's like, well, everyone knew where they were when John Lennon died or whatever. and I realized that I thought that I was one who didn't, and then I realized that I did know.
And where
It
were
was
you when John
it
Lennon
was
was shot?
I was at the parsonage in Dorsey. Uh, I was in there was a room where like my dad's study was. There was a small TV there. We were watching the news, and I was like, "Who died?" And my dad said, and I'm serious. This is why it took me so long to figure it out. My dad said, "Some musician."
You mean your Lutheran minister of an adopted father was not a big fan of the Beatles?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Apparently not. Now, I don't know if he was downplaying it or if he really wasn't following the Beatles that much, but it
Maybe
seems
he
kind of
maybe he was avoiding future questions from a young Paul.
yes.
Is by
Dad,
saying
am I the walrus? Um, so here's a
cuckoo
question.
cuckoo, gesundheit.
I, I think we've talked about this already. The Beatles were the Beatles, right?
Truer
And
statements have never been made.
one could say that Elvis was the Beatles of the 50s, sort of.
Oh, you can say the Beatles were the Elvis of the 60s.
But I just saw, and I think you already knew about this, but the Rolling Stones, how there's that whole thing, either you're a Stones person or you're a Beatles person, which isn't necessarily
Just,
true. I didn't know
yeah, people love putting other people into buckets.
that the Rolling Stones' first hit was written by the Beatles. It was like called "I Want to Be Your Man" or something like that. Yeah,
Uh,
true story.
yeah, no, I didn't
The
know that.
Rolling Stones at that time did not write their own songs, and the Beatles asked him if him being Mick
Mick
Jagger
Jagger.
if if he wanted them to write them a song, the Rolling Stones a song. They said yes, and then there you go. Uh,
Well, I'm a
but the
Beatles person, not a
question,
Stones person, so I didn't know that
yes,
story.
the question is, I'm a Doors fan. No, but here's the question: was there, or what would today's Beatles be? Who would the Beatles of today be? A
Taylor
K-pop
Swift.
band? Oh, okay. Taylor Swift.
Just off the top of my
Oh
head, the
man,
most popular musician today,
could
Taylor Swift
you
or Beyonce.
imagine? Could you imagine a K-pop band called Taylor Swift? That would be really funny.
A K-pop
They
band called Taylor Swift.
a K-pop band called themselves Taylor Swift. I think that would be good.
You know what? You know what came across my feed yesterday was
Notorious Big Tool Madonna.
baby metal.
Oh yeah, Baby Metal.
I had to,
Who could
I
forget?
had to stop and watch the baby metal video. It's pretty fantastic. If you haven't, Catherine,
I
if
haven't
you
seen
don't know
it.
what baby metal is, check them out.
I mean, I've seen Baby Metal. I haven't seen the whatever the latest thing
I
is.
can't. This was
Oh,
their big hit that like got that went viral when they burst onto the scene. I can't remember what. I don't know what the name of the song is.
speaking about the latest, Ben.
The latest Ben.
Oh my gosh, my latest obsession, the thing that I like the most, Blue Prince, which is a
Never
video
mind.
game.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
you
no, just for Prince,
you no
fingerprints.
you fingerprints.
And
Um,
I swear afterwards, Dot says I don't think he'll let me. I
yeah.
really believe that that happened. But no, Blueprints.
I don't think that's what she
Um,
says, but I think
Blueprints is a pun on the word blueprints. You're building a house. In this house, there are different rooms. The different rooms have different properties, and all of the rooms contain puzzles. The grounds contain puzzles, and you're just walking around solving puzzles. The puzzles build on each other. It is the best game to come out for a long time. And spoilers for the blueprints. Um, you're not going to play it, are you?
I haven't even heard of it until this morning.
Okay. So you have so many steps that you can do a day. Anytime you go from one room to another, that's a step, right? So you can only make so many moves in a game. But there are ways to get more steps. There's a way to increase your number of moves, etc. In the end of, and I know something happens. I have a hypothesis that it's either going to start you back on day because you have certain day you go through um, days, and each day the rooms change again, and you got to move them around. I don't want to spoil too much of it, just in case you. But you're
Um,
trying to get to this place,
I guarantee you,
the
I'm probably not going
40
to play this game.
the 46th room called the antechamber. Or no, or is the antechamber where the 46th room is? Either way, you're trying to get to the 46th room, and this 46th room is housed in this place called the antechamber. And when you go to the antechamber, Ben, when you enter the antechamber, uh, truths are revealed. I had one step left. The antechamber was open. I stepped into the antechamber. My steps went to zero, and my game ended. The perfect, but also horrible ending to that thing. It's really great though. It's really got me interested in logic again. I love logic puzzles. Um, there are a bunch of them. That this guy, um, whose name I can't pronounce, but he has this is his book. What is the name of the book? Um,
That is the name of the book.
Smolian. Smolian.
Smolian?
Yeah, the name of the book is what is the name of this book,
Yeah.
which I think is great. Um, Samuel L. Jackson, say what again? Uh, the
I don't know. It's on third.
oh yeah. Um, did you see? There was a picture somebody posted that said, "Guys, we did it." There's a baseball player named Who, and he was on first base.
Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty old picture.
I still love it. Um, so anyway, so I've been playing that a lot, and it's a great game. It's all about resource management, and last night I played it way into the night, and Jennifer's like, it's past 10:30. 10:30 is around my bedtime, and I was like, I know, but there's a problem with the game, Ben. The problem with the game is that you can't save it in the middle of it. You have to
You have to complete a
play it
level?
through. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
So,
Paul, you don't have to. You'll
but
just lose
you'll,
everything you've done up until that point.
well, you'll lose everything you've done up to the point and all the unique circumstances of that run. So what I mean by that is this. Um, so there's a building that you start out at, and you can leave that building and go to a secret place that you open up later, and start a new building. And that building could be a tomb. That building could be a storage shed. It could be a bomb shelter. You get to choose what that room is, right? In the tomb, there are candles that you can light, but you can't light the candle unless you find the magnifying glass and the metal detector, and also have built the workshop so you can combine the magnifying glass and the metal detector into this torch thing. And then once you do that, you can go into the tomb and light the candles, that kind of thing, right? And it's all random. So you may not get. So I have to choose. Okay, so whenever the tomb shows up, I pick the tomb, right? But it's not always the thing that's going to show up, right? And so if the tomb doesn't show up, then I go through and I'm playing, and if I get the metal detector and the flash and the magnifying glass, then I can make the thing that lights the candles, but do I need to make it because that thing isn't there anymore? So normally I don't, but now I have the moon pendant that allows me to save an item that I've created for the next time, but that's random too. So you get the idea, sort of. Are you wearing bracelets, Ben? Or is
I,
that a watch?
I'm playing with a cable tie, a Velcro cable tie, two
Aha.
Velcro cable ties, and
Two.
I've put them together, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can give myself a little ad hoc bracelet.
Very cool. And then you'll always have two Velcro cable ties whenever you need
I
them.
mean, when have I never not needed a cable tie?
I'll tell you what, the wires from my keyboard and my mouse kept on hitting me on the leg, and I was very upset about it. Velcro cable tie them together.
Velcro
Oh,
cable ties. I got a ton of
we
these things.
we have a little bit more time. Let me show
Just
you my boots, Ben.
fell off the back of a truck at work.
Can you see them?
I
I might
can.
have to.
Surprised
Yeah.
you're wearing those heavy boots inside.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I'm wearing these heavy boots inside is because
You
I
haven't
am
vacuumed.
wearing them in. They have
Oh, I
not been
see.
outside. They're only so I'm wearing them
Those are your
every
indoor
single day
boots?
until they're comfortable. They're going to be my outdoor boots,
Okay.
but I'm pampering them right now. I'm wearing them because I normally don't go outside that much. So if I
Right.
don't go outside that much, it's going to take me forever to wear the boots in.
We're gonna
So
actually
instead,
speaking of going outside, we're gonna have a pretty nice day weather-wise here tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, April 18th. And
nice.
everybody's like, you should get outside to to enjoy the nice weather. And I don't know if they realize who they're talking to. I don't go outside.
I don't go outside either, Ben. We're the
Mm.
indoor kids.
We're the indoor cats.
Betty is the same way.
Yeah.
Uh, Abby is kind of an indoor cat now, but granted, it's been winter in Chicago, so that makes sense. She has been exploring a little bit recently.
But you let her outside when she wants to go out?
Yeah, yeah. Um, this has been I'll talk about it a little bit. People are like, oh, but they kill songbirds and everything, and it's like they can.
Cats are the
Um,
leading cause of death of wild birds.
but Abby's killed a bird once,
That
I
you know
believe,
of.
that I know of, yeah. But but that was crazy because she brought it inside and it was still alive, so it like flew around and stuff.
Oh, she wanted
This
to give it
is
to you.
this is back in Southern Illinois, um, so we don't have that. She has not brought a bird in recently. I will
Well,
say
that's good.
this, people say the main drawback of Chicago is the weather in the wintertime,
I say it's the
and
politics.
it's pretty bad. What? Uh, no,
Hmm.
but truthfully, for those of you who are listening who aren't familiar with Chicago politics, it's really interesting. I think I mentioned it before on here. Like, like an alderman in a majority black district might be staunchly anti-immigration, uh, pro deportation and stuff like that. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, I'm on the left. I have these values. And then I'm like, aha, but again,
Yeah.
this is that blue and orange logic thing, right? When you get into city politics, it becomes a different thing, which I don't know. I like, I like situations in which the lines are not so neatly drawn and you can actually have people with more than one differing opinion, if that makes sense. Like where, you know, I think people like, I don't know, when you say tribalism or whatever, they like the idea of I'm this, and I
Yeah.
like this, and this. And my friend over here is this, and I like this, and he likes this, and this. And if my friend doesn't like this when he's supposed to be like this, I'm gonna tell him about, that sort of thing. That's like, churches can be like that, for instance. Small town communities can be like that. In
MAGA
cities, it gets really complicated. Go ahead.
MAGA
Oh, what?
voters. MAGA voters.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why, it's so why people stand by Trump so hard is because they've made being a Trump voter their identity. And people don't like admitting that, their identity is anything other than what they say it is.
I think I might have mentioned this last week, but I saw a thing from, I think it was Jon Stewart who said it, that there's a difference between like your Joe Rogans and your Theo Vons, etc., and like true MAGA supporters. Like there are people who will entertain Trump as a as someone that they can talk to without being someone that they 100% stand behind.
Yeah.
Like for the folks on the left, and I count myself as a left guy. Like if I had the opportunity to meet him, I don't think I would. I don't think there'd be anything I want to say. And people are like, "Well, are you sure?" And I was like, "Well," and I bring this up occasionally. When I was in college, I had the opportunity to meet Mort Walker, who is the guy who did Beetle Bailey,
Yeah.
as part of my cartooning class, and I didn't go to the meetup. And people were like, "Why aren't you going to the meetup?" And I was like, "Because I don't like Beetle Bailey as a comic. I don't want to meet the guy because I'm not interested in his work."
Yeah.
Um, and they thought that that was crazy. Well, can't you? You've got. I mean,
Put
he's
aside your
successful.
biases, man.
He's a yeah, but his the thing with the hot secretary thing and all that stuff just never sat right
I
with
forgot about
me.
the hot secretary.
Yeah,
That wasn't a comic that I read when it
I
was in my
wasn't. Yeah,
paper.
like I said, not a huge fan of his. It's weird too because Beetle Bailey joining the military was a plot line, and then it just became the comic.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Now I do regret it because I could have talked to him about that. That would be something that I think I found that out later. I was a kid though, also. That's the other thing. Right? I was in my teens. So for me that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Um I still remember though Frank Stack, that was the artist who taught the class, drew a really unflattering picture of me and I wish I still had it. Uh
He gave it to you?
yeah, he did. It's a picture of me. I have a backwards baseball cap on. Can you believe it? Uh, Board shorts, I think, glasses, and I'm saying, "How do you spell?" Question mark, which I think is kind of brilliant. So
I don't think I've ever seen you, Paul Goody, wear a baseball cap.
yeah, I stopped doing it.
After Frank drew that
You know
illustration
what?
of me.
I never been. This is a true story. I never put the two of them. I honestly never put the two of them together. But I think that is correct. I think that's the last time that I wore one. Um, yeah, I don't wear hats when my hair is as long as it is now. I mean, this is my hat, basically a big furry hat that I can never take off, which is fine.
My hair's getting to the point where I need to wear a hat to keep this shelf from popping out.
Oh
I need to
no!
get a haircut. Feels like I just had
Yeah,
one.
I I honestly often remember your haircuts because I find out about them on the podcast.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
speaking about finding
pretty
out
much
on the
don't tell you that I'm going to get one. So, but maybe next time I will. I'll text you, be like, Paul,
getting a haircut, I'll be like, I knew it.
you have
You
anything you want to
did it.
say to the hairdresser, or sorry, to the barber?
Oh no.
I don't go to
Who
hairdressers.
shaves
I
the
go to
barber?
barbers.
Question mark. So hey, speaking about Who Shades the Barber, we are at the end of the podcast,
Oh,
Ben.
the end of the show.
We've done it once again, and
For
I have to
better,
say I'm
for speaking of
happy
Sunday
about it.
comics, for better, for worse.
Yes, exactly. Hi and Lois, Ben. How's it happening? Keep it wrong, etc.
Keep it
Bye, Keith
wrong,
Cliff.
Paul. Oh yeah. Look. Also, we do this on Thursdays because I hate Mondays. And
Uh,
keep it wrong. I'll talk to you next
all right.
week.
Talk to you.